but they're off and on full time because I have to work in Boston to support my family. I've been there for about the last 5 years, full time, working to restore the farm. It's simply not true that I just arrived in Westport and decided I wanted to change the status quo. The entire 9 years going on, I've been there, and my family has listened to the concerts. My experience of the concerts is this: they started out as a rather small event with mostly acoustic musicians and a few, maybe 100 or 200 cars. And we didn't have a problem. And there were a few times when they were loud and I would call Rob and he would say, I'll try to turn it down. I have called Rob numerous times about numerous issues. Worked them out. I've never taken a, like, grouchy neighbor, I'm going to shut this down or stop your farm or stop your concerts at all. What's happened is that they've grown exponentially. They're huge events. They were last year. We had cars lined up all the way to Hicks Bridge. We had cars all the way to the brewery. We had people walking. I own all the fields along Hicks Bridge and around the corner. People are walking all through that area. It's not quite that simple. And Mr. Corey can quote this acoustic testing, but he's just, as far as I know, no one has ever showed me a report. No one has ever invited me to speak with an acoustic consultant, or who did it, or whether it was done in an objective manner. It seems like that's something that should be objective. I know that my family, every Friday night and numerous Saturdays, cannot plan a family dinner or a family picnic in our yard because the sound is so loud. It's not the sound of an air conditioner or a car driving by. It's like the band is right in our living room. And I've called Rob about it, and he has made sounds about accommodating me, and at the end of the season it seemed that he did make some attempts to turn it down. But there have also been times when people got drunk, they were whooping it up, the band was yelling out one more round and so forth. It's not, I'm not opposed to agriculturists selling their products. We're going to have a farm stand to sell a farm there. I'm opposed to something that appears to us to have taken over the neighborhood. It's every single weekend, from the beginning of the summer, June 19th, to October or late September. So every Friday night, the sound is so loud we have to go out, we have to go to the beach, we have to go to Bedford for 3 hours.
The fact is that there are significant limits to how far you can go with incidental activity that has its own impact. There's a lot of case law, and there's certainly no case out there that remotely suggests that you can have a concert series of 17 events with amplified music every weekend and have it be incidental to agricultural use. A lot happened in the last couple of years when Russell's trying to reach out and address that. By their own admission, they're not happy about the parking that took place on Hicks Bridge Road. They've come before this board and said, next year we're going to do something different. And I've heard something different tonight, cutting back to 300 cars. And I think they're trying to address this. And I think, you know, it is a shame. I agree with Mr. Chair that a building inspector is not here. But I have heard nothing that would not stand in the way, would stand in the way of recommending an entertainment license. Go forward this year, try to see if we can work out these problems, if they exist with the sound, see if we can address some of those as you've done in picking up between the two farms. Let's test it for you. Let's, as a community, let's see if we can look at a half full glass as opposed to a half empty glass. If, you know, in regards to an attorney or having, listening to, we've got two attorneys here that are not agreeing. They're representing different points of view. There are different points of views here. The point is, can we build a consensus in our community? I think we have. And two farmers have tried to do that over the years and done a pretty good job. The success of their business has led to why we're here tonight to some degree. And the solution to that is the folks that are responsible for that success are saying, well, we're going to tune that back a little bit. But we need some kind of business model that makes sense to make it successful. And that's what they're attempting to do. So I, for one, I'm prepared. I've heard enough here tonight to entertain a motion. I'll make the motion. But if you want to hear more, Mr. Chair, go right ahead.
Let's put a motion on the floor.
I move that
We'll take 3 comments.
I move that we approve the entertainment license request for this year as recommended, as outlined, with a parking limit of 300 cars per event. I'll second.
Okay, well, you're on the board, you go first. It's ultimately our meeting.
You were all going to be there. One of the issues I thought it made a difference, they're stopping at 9 o'clock. I mean, you go to any other venue in the cities, it's 11, 12 o'clock. I mean, they have the feast, I'm not beating the feast down, but again, that's 1 o'clock. They're stopping the music at 9 o'clock. X number of people over there, 100, 200, 300 people talking around, drinking the beer, the wine and all that. Once the music's gone, the majority of people are going to be leaving. So I think they reached out. They could keep going later than 9 o'clock, but I think 9 o'clock is fair for the neighbors. So that's why I would support something like this.
You have somebody representing only one abutter, so please keep that in mind, because it seems like he's responding to everything that's being said, and that's only one representation. I'm speaking in favor of these concerts. I moved here fully aware that they would be in my backyard, and they are indeed in my backyard. I enjoy the venue. I think it is an incredible venue for the town. I came from a town, whereas money at their gazebo, at their town common, to get people to gather, to have picnics, to enjoy each other's company, catch up. If you ever go to one of these events, you notice that there's a lot of that, more of that going on than maybe people just sitting listening to the music, that they're doing that. But keep in mind, it's not just helping the vineyards economy, it's helping the whole town's economy. Where are these people getting their picnics when they come? Are they going to Village Pizza? Are they running into Lee's Market? You know, I venture to say they are. And I think you need to look at it as a whole, as a community event, the economy of your farmers, and also the economy of the businesses in town that get there. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Gregory Knoll. I'm down in scenic Westport Point, far away from all of this. In my travels on my motorcycles around town, I've observed something that I think is a fundamental flaw in Mr. Corey's argument. The brewery is constantly full of cars. The winery, for years, has had an extraordinary amount of traffic going in and out.
And we are tasked with supporting sustainable agriculture in Bristol, Plymouth, and Warwick counties. I just want to talk a little bit about some of the economic statistics. We have over 700 farms in Bristol County alone, and outside of the in market value in agriculture across the state, Bristol County represents over 37 million. Now, many farms have been engaging in agritourism activities to enhance their profitability. And I think one thing that everybody should understand is that the profits are not going to buy a private jet. They're going back into the property itself. They're being reinvested. They're also being invested in employees. Agriculture is a huge economic engine in this county. I think one of the numbers that I was researching, it's pretty stark. It's 16,000, and that actually is, up until recently, the number of acres of farmland that Massachusetts was losing in a year. And I looked at my telephone calculator and it told me that that's 43 acres a day. So I live on an acre. So you can get kind of a scale as you look out of your yard. Things like concerts, they have farm stands, they're doing pick your own. And I think it sends a chilling message to farmers that we're looking to pick and choose what we're preventing. I support this. Thank you.
I live at 701 Pine Hill Road in Westport, Mass. I'm representing a local farm and caterer that benefits from this event. We go to every single Friday and Saturday event. We meet new customers, we sell our oysters. We've been raising oysters on Cutty Island for over 30 years. In the past couple of years, as this event has grown, it's been a huge benefit to us. It's really helped us pull through. We've had some complications on the island where we couldn't get a dredge permit, and so it's just been really, really important to us. And when we don't have our oysters available, we actually sell Westport oysters from Curian. So we had riptides all last summer. We keep it local, and I'm allowed at Westport Rivers during this event. So residents or visitors to the event purchase their food in town at other locations, just as this woman indicated.
Members of this board have also read the content of that decision and felt that he was given bad information. So I would first entertain, we have a motion on the floor, so we'll do this afterwards. Secondly, so we really can't properly evaluate town council's opinion. Secondly, there was an agreement made between the town and the Russells and the neighbors to monitor the activities of the concert series last August. And so that we continue to give the neighbors standing in negotiations and discussions with the parties so that their legitimate concerns regarding traffic congestion, noise, and everything else would continue to be addressed and honored by this board. So I would like a friendly amendment to adopt those two principles in this motion, and then I would call for a question.
Well, I'll certainly add those two sentiments in there, but Diane, do you have the record of that? I mean, the intent here is to build consensus moving forward so everybody wins. We don't want winners and losers here, we want a community that benefits.
No, and after I've said my wording, though, Mr. Russell and Mr. Howell will continue to talk and we'll have lines of communication. A sound engineer is on board for this.
Mr. Schroeder.
I'll amend my motion to coincide with the original motion.
On the motion, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.